Hey YouTube, what's going on here? This is your weirdo person, whoever, Predator626268 here. I wanted to make this video in light of a lot of things, in light of a lot of shit that's been going on in my mind here, about some controversial people, shall we say. Don't worry, this isn't going to start into like a drama channel or like an update channel. I'm still going to do all my happy-go-lucky, slap-happy live stream stuff, but I really wanted to get this off my chest because a lot of this shit has been weighing on my mind for God knows how long, and I feel like a sense of transparency between myself and my audience is necessary to a certain degree. So, some of you may be out of the loop, but for those of you who don't know, there's been a lot of, shall we say, controversial people in the YouTube sphere, particularly the gaming YouTube sphere, this year. It's kind of been joked that by some people that YouTube has kind of become that 2020, in addition to, you know, the issue with the pandemic and some of the more touchy social subjects and all this shit, that's kind of become the year where a lot of popular YouTubers are being exposed as fucking monsters, or creeps, I should say. Um, there's been three big examples so far. The most recent having been dropped, you know, a couple months ago or so. Um, actually, this month, actually. Very early this month. Um, I'm basically talking about three people, and those are Cry, Audic, Mini Lad from Vanoss Gaming, and Ryan Haywood from Achievement Hunter. I'm not going to talk much about Cry. There's a lot more videos with regards to Cry's things, and I never followed him that much as a popular YouTuber or like a game YouTuber or, you know, what have you. What I'm trying to say, I never followed him. But as for the other two people, they, oof, this is where it gets a bit sketch. So first off was Mini Lad, who, if you don't know, there's plenty of videos discussing it, but basically Mini Lad got busted for sexting and sending a lot of inappropriate shit to a lot of his female friends, the majority of whom were underage at the time. Like, he was in his 20s and he was living in California, and they were 17 at the time, which, you know, 18 is the age of consent in California. So yeah, I got busted for that pretty good. Been exposed for it plenty of times by a lot of people. A lot of really and he's basically denied a lot of this. He's basically pretending like it hasn't happened, but basically his career's more or less done. There's not a lot that people are doing to defend this guy, me included. But the most recent one is with regards to Ryan Haywood from Achievement Hunter, who got busted earlier this month for a lot of really inappropriate behaviors with a lot of Rooster Teeth community fans, some of whom were 17 at the time. And yeah, he's left the site, and Rooster Teeth has basically announced a couple days ago, I think, that they're basically removing any and all traces of him from the site as much as they can. They're disassociating themselves from they're disassociating him from the site, basically. As for how I feel about these two, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's been weighing on me because they're both part of game groups that I kind of fell out with to a certain extent. Like, I watched Vanoss's gaming, like, I got introduced to Vanoss right around the late 2014, when a lot of personal shit was going on, and my friend Chris, who you've heard in a lot of videos, introduced me to him while we were hanging out, and I fell in love with Vanoss's videos ever since. And Mini Lad was a big part of that group. He left the group, obviously. for his own reasons to try and branch out. So to hear Mini Lad kind of be this way, you know, I'm more angry for Mini Lad than I am sorry to him, because I've heard a lot of the excuses that he's made, you know, oh, my mental health, like that gives you a right to act that way in a manner with fans who are not of legal age. That just that shit doesn't cut the mustard with me. I'm sorry. And hearing his past behavior about, you know, how he treats some of the group, how he backtalked them after he left, you know, I have no sympathy for him. But I watched a lot of Mini Lad's videos throughout, and I thought he was okay, a funny enough YouTuber. His Mario Kart stuff was always the funniest shit to me. But yeah, to have a big YouTuber like that, who is part of a group of guys that I really did enjoy watching, kind of hurts. And apparently Louis has been accused of some inappropriate sex stuff as well. I don't know the full details about that, but nothing with underage fans though. But still, nevertheless, pretty disgusting. But Ryan hurts me the most. I stopped I watched Rooster Teeth up until mid-2017, I think. I stopped watching it, mainly because their content just kind of stopped appealing to me, in a way. And from what I've heard, it hasn't really not been the same for, you know, a year or so now, and a lot of the major players are leaving the site. But Ryan, to me, hurts a lot more because, again, going back to my friend Chris, who, you know, who introduced me to Achievement Hunter, he always kind of had this dynamic about it, and he always thought that Ryan was kind of the most like the Achievement Hunter crew, similar to me. And in a lot of ways, I saw myself a lot in Ryan, because we have kind of the same, you know, personality and quirks and stuff, like the same dark, dry sense of humor, the same, you know, kind of playing up the psycho party member bit and all that sort of shit. So I'm not gonna lie, it hurt to know that this guy who I related to quite a bit, you know, just from a standpoint of games and humor, that sort of thing, turned out to be as fucking scummy as he is. Yeah, I'm still trying my best to get over it. Look, 2020's been a fucking shit show. That's all I gotta say. Anyone who's not blind, deaf, and mute can see that 2020 is just an absolute clusterfuck of a year. Now, me personally, I've had worse years in 2020, but never has there been much more of a depressing miasma of suck than 2020 has had. To an almost insane degree, you know, with everything that's been happening, both outside of YouTube and inside of YouTube, you know. So to see a lot of these YouTubers that a lot of people have looked up to be exposed as complete and utter pieces of shit, it hurts. It hurts to a degree, and I'm hurt to a certain degree, because I do like I like these guys. I enjoyed watching them in videos. I enjoyed watching their content. There are some of the people who, along with a couple others, not only helped me through, you know, quite a bit of, you know, some dark periods just by watching their videos every day, but also inspired me to kind of get into the game myself and live stream and make videos of my own and record the funny clips I make with my friends and post them sometimes. Yeah, I got a backlog. I should do that. But so to see all of them, you know, basically have been doing really disgusting behavior, really repugnant behavior for years now, and are just getting exposed for all that, it hurts. There's a sense of, and I guess that's kind of the main thing about this is, you know, when it comes to YouTubers, and because ever since a lot of this shit has dropped, I've seen a lot of think pieces from a lot of people in like Reddit comments, Reddit threads, YouTube, and all that sort of thing about, you know, how healthy it is with regards to the internet celebrity and fan relationships, and how that trust has been broken, which all that's understandable. I'm not going to deny that a lot of it isn't warranted, because a lot of people are hurt by this, and they should be hurt by this, because, you know, you kind of look up to these people. YouTube celebritydom, in my experience, and internet fame in general, is a lot different from the typical celebrities of status of, you know, actors, musicians, that sort of thing. Because with the internet, and with YouTube especially, there's a lot more of a personal connection with how willing and open that they are, you know, between themselves and their fans. And you really do grow to connect to them on a level that feels a lot more, from a friendship perspective certainly, but in some cases an almost familial perspective in a lot of ways. And to have that trust broken, and to have them be exposed by that, and you know, see that the depths that they go to sometimes, just, it hurts. It really hurts, especially if you're part of a tight-knit community like that, or we're part of a tight-knit community like that, that very much made you feel very welcome and gave you kind of a space where you could connect to. And that pain hurts a lot more in the process. I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say, but basically, you know, there's been a lot of questions of this and that with regards to, you know, how should we approach YouTube celebs? How should we view YouTube celebrities? How should we do this? You know, a lot of people doing this and that, and I think there's always going to be more of a sense of trust from a YouTube celebrity because of that personal connection that we have. They post consistently. They're more relatable in a lot of degrees, because they come from a lot of humble beginnings, just like the majority of their viewing audience, and they inspire their viewing audience. And I wish there was more I could say about that. But I guess this also ties into a lot of the personal things of feelings, not just the feeling of betrayal, but I know what it's like to lose trust in people in a lot of ways. I know what it's like to have trust in other people be broken, and I also know what it's like to inadvertently break people's trust in me. You know, I've been hurt by a lot of people before because I didn't think that they were who they were, and I probably hurt a lot of people unknowingly because they didn't think I was that I was. Now, am I going to do something disgusting and depraved and sick, like sext underage fans and solicit nudes from them and you know, cheat on a spouse or anything like that? No, I'm not. You know, and I know it's hypocritical of me to say that, because I'm not exactly a paragon of moral sanctity and virtue myself. You watch some of my videos and you see some of the shit that I say and some of the jokes that I make. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have a leg to stand on, but there are some things that even I have my line in the sand. And just because I act a certain way doesn't exactly mean that I'm willing to do a lot of the more depraved things that others are willing to act on, I guess. You know, there's a difference between saying it and doing it, and I know some people are like, well, just because you say it doesn't mean you won't do it. I understand where they're coming from. It's a bit of a false equivalency, certainly, but, you know, And in a lot of ways, you kind of don't want to believe it, especially because I remember when a lot of the events that were happening in 2017 with a lot of famous celebrities, you know, there's always that, not to sound to come off like a douchebag essentially, but you know, there are some scummy people who actually haven't had what's happened to them and are kind of just jumping on the bandwagon to get their 15 minutes of fame. And certainly there's a lot of false accusations made against people that hurt their lives and stuff. In this case, I think a lot of it is very real. With Minilad, especially with Ryan, I feel like the majority of it is very true to a certain extent. So I guess the other question is getting to my point about the whole internet celebrity, YouTube celebrity kind of thing. Because a lot of you know that I've only spoken about my personal issues and struggles and what have you very briefly on my Let's Play, on my plays on my channel, what have you. And I guess mainly the reason for that is because of the fact that, you know, I do this out of fun. I do YouTube out of fun. I don't do it to make money. You know, I wanted to do it to make money, you know, when I was younger, but I realized that YouTube fame just, it wasn't going to be the meal ticket that I thought it was going to be. Let's put it that way. The days of people getting on YouTube and making big money off of it, that's long gone. The game has changed dramatically from when those people started. So I had a snowball's chance in hell of getting to their ranks as high as I did. But you know, I've got 10 subscribers. Hopefully I get more. It's not a big audience, certainly. I don't make money doing this, but it's an audience nevertheless, and the fact that people can connect to my videos is very very touching to me. But I guess that's kind of the reason why I shy away from making videos like this, or I shy away from talking about personal things, very personal struggles and beliefs like that. Mainly even though you can kind of see it, mainly because I don't want the kind of cult of personality that enables big YouTubers to think that much like regular celebrities, they can do any kind of shit, no matter how gross and depraved that it is, and think they can get away with it. You know, I very much try to avoid that kind of thing, which is why over time I never wanted to be YouTube famous in the way that a lot of these guys are, because, you know, fame is the biggest, fame and the power that comes from fame, they are the most dangerous drug of all, more so than anything you can get out of the back of some dude's van or over a pharmaceutical counter. It is highly addictive. It's easy to get addicted to it. It makes you do a lot of stupid things, and there's really no way to recover from it unless you have like a massive sense of self-reflection and you know, kind of figure out if you're going down the right path, which when you're under those influences, you don't think about that kind of stuff. And it's very easy to you know, go over the deep end, and very few people end up, you know, coming off of it. In fact, it only gets worse before it gets better, which is very much true. So I always wanted to avoid like being a figurehead. I wanted to avoid, you know, being like a martyr or a demigod, or have like a big circle surrounding me or be looked up to as an inspiration and stuff. I'm not. I'm just some 24-year-old random shithead on the internet who does live streams for a living. Well, not for a living, but does live streams as basically a hobby to occupy myself with additional time and all that sort of thing. And for some reason I hit my big break and I get like 1,000+ subscribers or like 100,000+ subscribers and get really big. You know what? That's cool. I never thought that would happen to me, but I don't want that to happen because it's very easy to get drunk off. It's a very easy high to not come down from, as you know, the adoration of millions of millions of anonymous people on the internet just telling you how great you are, because that's just a road that leads to ruin for anybody. When it's because it's hard to see the light when the only time you see the light is when you fart because your head is so far up your own ass. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that metaphor makes any goddamn sense, but, you know, I guess that's why I'm very sheltered and not very open about a lot of these things, because I've followed a lot of content creators over the years, a lot of people that I've admired, who have just either who have basically destroyed themselves from thinking that they could get away with the shit that they did. I've seen this cycle happen many a time before. So sadly, a lot of this isn't new to me, but the fact that a lot of what's come out with, you know, with regards to Louis, Caliber, and Minilad, and Cry, and Ryan from Achievement Hunter, and other YouTubers who have been exposed in 2020 that I haven't followed, you know, I personally don't want to. I personally would never do anything like that. But then again, I'm also small, and, you know, the human mind, the human capacity for morality is a very fickle thing at the end of the day. You know, you can say you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, but at the end of the day, actions speak a lot louder than words. And if you feel like you can get away with something, you're going to get away with it. Even if it is beyond the pale for what a lot of people would consider okay. So it's a complex subject. I also don't think that, you know, a lot of these horrible people should have all their content and everything about them removed from the internet necessarily. Like, I get the thought process behind that, especially in those initial stages of grief where your mind is so clouded and cluttered about who they are as people, and, you know, trying to deny, like whenever shit like this comes up, there's a lot of people, to give you a reference from Mars Attacks, there's a great scene where this like trailer trash couple played by one of the dad being played by Jodan Baker, are watching the TV and they're seeing all the aliens destroy everything, and then they vaporize their son, and Jodan Baker's just looking at the TV like, oh, that didn't happen, no. And like, anytime that happens with anything, you know, you always think that there's some glitch in the Matrix, like, no, you're bullshitting, you're lying, that can't happen, and then it comes out and you're just like, fuck. So I get it. And in that initial stage of grief, there's very much this drive to remove their presence, especially because a lot of the happy memories that people have created from those people are irreparably tainted by their actions and what they've done, and the process, and the lives that they've hurt, and a lot of the people that they've hurt indirectly through that betrayal of trust. And I get that. It took me a long time to go back and watch a lot of the old Vanoss videos that I did with Gmod and stuff like that had Minilad in them, because I was just like, I'm not gonna support anything that's got fucking pedo lad in it, you know. But over time, I accepted it. I accepted, you know what, Craig Thompson is a terrible human being, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let the image of him being in videos stop me from watching them. And I've always advocated very much in the removal, not the removal of, but the separation of artist from the art. And I think separation of artist and art, especially in this day and age, is far more important than ever. Because it's very easy to get disillusioned by what the artist does, that you just destroy any goodwill or memories you have of the artist in the first place. And I get why, if people don't disassociate themselves from that. You know, it's one thing if an artist says something you don't like, or says like a political thing you don't like, or an opinion that you disagree with. It's another thing when they do shit like what Ryan Haywood and Mini Lad and Cryotic and a lot of those people have done. It's a whole different can of worms at that point. But I think to remove everything about them and to remove a lot of the good memories associated with them is a bit short-sighted to a certain degree, because you know when you accept it, when you learn to accept it, and you want to go back and revisit some of the happy memories at the very least, and try and disassociate yourself from that, you can't anymore because they don't exist, because they've been scrubbed out. So it's complicated. You know, the truth always lies somewhere in the middle when it comes to shit like this. I'm not smart enough to tell you what to think or what to feel, or how to think or how to feel. I'm just some random 24-year-old asshole on the internet who live streams games, acts like a cringy edgelord sometimes, and just, you know, does his own thing for a subscriber count that's in the double digits. Barely in the double digits. So, and you know, I don't know, man. It's not a very easy thing to try and figure out, try and, you know, come to terms with, anything like that. You know, I wish that we all had the answers for everything, but the truth of the matter is life isn't easy. It never has been easy. It never will be easy, especially when it comes to a lot of the tough questions that it throws at you like fucking fastballs. You know, you can try and dodge them, or you can try and hit them. Eventually, some of them are just gonna hit you straight in the gonads and in the ribs, and it's an unavoidable fact, and it sucks. It hurts a lot, but you can't let that pain stop you, and you can't let that pain prevent you from going up to the pitcher again and taking another swing at it, because you're never going to succeed anywhere at life. And you know, when it comes to things like this, for people who have been a massive inspiration, who turn out to just, you know, be complete and utter garbage human beings, especially, like I said, people who you connect and bond with very closely, like I have to a certain degree, it's tough. It's tough. Right now, I can't watch any of the Achievement Hunter videos that have Ryan in them at this point. It's going to take a while for me to go back to those videos. I mean, I stopped watching Rooster Teeth for a while now, and even though I disagree with a lot of what Rooster Teeth disagree with some of what Rooster Teeth has said, what some of their members have said, and some of the things that they've done, especially with regards to a certain individual who shall not be named at this point. You know, I feel for them. This was more than just a coworker for them. This was their friend, and you know, it's different when someone dies. You know, now they're alive, and all the good memories you've had just get, you know, shattered like glass before your eyes. And it's very easy to to feel down on yourself because of the amount of trust that's been broken. Is there anything more for me to say? Maybe not. I'm just rambling and repeating myself at this point. But that's a lot of the shit I wanted to get off my chest, because I've been rambling with this. I've been wrapping my head around this for days now. God knows how long. And it never gets any fucking easier, because I don't know, as a content creator myself, a very small content creator myself, it's a very dark reflection of the path that I could lead down. You know, like the Dark Knight says, you either die here or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So, and this kind of shit, you know, puts a lot of self-doubt in my YouTube thing, my path as a content creator. Because I don't want to end up like that. I really don't. I don't want to, you know, have a lot of really scummy skeletons to eventually be dug up. I don't want to do anything that, you know, leads to this happening. And as much as I despise cancel culture, sometimes it's, in the case of the fuckheads that I mentioned, sometimes it's justified to a certain extent. So, and I don't know, man. And as much as I want to sit here and say, oh, that'll never happen to me, you just never know. So, anyways, sorry for the very heavy video. That's really what I wanted to get off my chest. That's really what I wanted to say with regards to saying my piece. It's a very downer video. It's a very dour video, but it's a video that is important for me to make at the very least, because, you know, there's not a whole lot I can say. So, well, anyways, thank you all for watching this very heavy video. I know this was not expected at all. I know this really was not the kind of video that anyone expected me to make or anyone wanted me to make, but it's a video that I kind of had to, because otherwise it would just eat me up inside. So, but Alien Isolation, the live streams are going to continue, especially, you know, today. So don't worry about me not taking a sabbatical. Alien Isolation is going to continue, and I'm going to figure out what to live stream next. I've got a bunch load of clips to upload of me and my friends being idiots in Siege and in GTA and all that stuff. So thanks for watching this video. Not necessarily enjoy, but I hope you liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. So take care, everybody. Stay safe out there. Just don't be a fucking asshole. 2020 sucks enough, and there's a lot of assholes out there already. Don't contribute to the problem. That's all I gotta say. Peace out, everyone.